This is problem number 9 from homework worksheet H1-4. Again, solving equations that involve fractions. This one's kind of a special case, so I'm going to talk about it here in a couple different ways to hopefully help anybody that needs some assistance with this. We've got 3x over the quantity of x plus 1 is equal to 3. Now, this is the first time that we've had what we call a binomial in the denominator there, right? An expression that has plus or minus in the denominator. So we've got to figure out here what we need to do. And what I'll tell you here actually is you can do the same thing that we've been doing all along here. If I'm looking for my least common denominator, okay, my least common denominator here is going to be out of 1 and the quantity of x plus 1. Now you have to remember, this is like one number. We just don't know what it is, right? It's just whatever value it has is 1 greater than whatever x is. So those are our two factors. So it has to have those factors in it. It'd be like a 1 times the quantity of x plus 1, our least common denominator, which really is just x plus 1. So we could take this and multiply both sides of the equation by the quantity of x plus 1. Now when we do that, right, just like before, x plus 1 divided by x plus 1, right, would cancel it out and leave us with just 3x right here. On the other side, the quantity of x plus 1 divided by 1 is going to keep it as the quantity of x plus 1, and then we'd multiply it by 3, so we have 3 times the quantity of x plus 1. Now what we're going to do here is take this and distribute it through. We've got 3x plus 3 is going to equal 3x. And when we subtract 3x from each side, we're going to end up with no x's at all. That's going to be 0. 0 equals 3. And we looked at these when we were reviewing, I think in section H1-3 there were some that where the variables canceled out and left you with a false statement. So in this case here, we could say that since that's a false statement, we're going to go ahead here and say that there are no solutions. Okay, now that's just one way of doing it, and that's just doing it the same way we've been doing all the rest. Now you may recognize this as being a fraction equals a fraction. If I take that 3 and put it over 1, so when you have a fraction equals a fraction or a ratio equals a ratio, this is the same thing as a proportion. Remember, that's when you have, some fraction is equal to some other fraction, right? And you know then that proportions have that property where if you multiply the denominator of one by the numerator of the other, and it should equal each other there, right? I think most people call it cross multiplying. So this is one of those instances where you can cross multiply, okay, because it's a fraction equals a fraction. And when you do that there, you're going to see here, you're going to get, 3x times 1 is just 3x, and then 3 times the quantity of x plus 1, and already you're right over here where you were at before. Okay, and some of you may like to get it that way first because it might be easier for you to do. That's totally cool. Go ahead and do that. Okay, you know the answer here is going to end up being no solutions. There's no sense in going any further there. All right. If you have additional questions, please reach out and I will help you out.